Stock management is very important in any company that is into the manufacturing of products. And the management of stock will form the basis by which organizations can achieve most of their objectives. Now, why is stock management very, very important? Stock is important because companies will want to avoid the cost of stock out. Now, stock out is a very important cost to companies because one, it's going to increase idle time. When workers don't have stock in order to work with or materials in order to work with, they will be idle. Now, companies will also not meet customers' demands in the market. And another issue is that companies will lose customers. So, in order for companies to have a steady and consistent flow of operations and the supply of customers' product, they must manage stock very well. Now, how can companies manage stock? Let's use this particular diagram here. Let's call it bin A. This is like a barrel, a bin. And let's take it for instance that anytime a company buys a particular raw material, they store it in this particular bin. Now, in order for companies to manage their stock very well, they need to set certain benchmarks that will help them in the management of their stock. Let's look at this particular line, which I have named minimum stock level. Now, let's take it for instance, before I explain, let's take it for instance that this bin, we can fill it with the raw materials to the fullest section. Okay, so if companies want to fill this to the fullest section, as I have indicated over here, now if this is full, they will start using it, and so it will be the raw materials will be falling to a particular level. When the companies run out of stock, all these costs will increase. And so companies will want to manage that very well. In order to manage it, they need to set the benchmarks as I've already stated. So for instance, they will set a minimum level. Now, this is the level at which stock must not fall below. Okay? Stock must not fall below this level because immediately it falls below this particular level, then we are heading to a dangerously low level. Now, if you head to a dangerously low level, it means you can run out of stock. So a company will set this particular line or the number of quantity. So this line can represent quantities of raw materials that we must not use or we must not get below. Now, these quantities is called the minimum stock level. Okay. Now, another point is that a company can also set a reorder level. Now, the reorder level, as I've stated here, is the level at which new orders should be made in order to replenish the stock. So when the consumption of stock reaches this particular level or this particular level of quantity of raw materials, then an alert is sent to management to order more of that raw materials into particular stock. Okay, so if these particular quantities are ordered, then we will not get to the minimum stock level. Now, why would companies have to set a reorder level? Now, there are several reasons. One, it takes time for new raw materials to arrive at warehouse. So when companies order for products, it takes a lot of time. It can take a day, it can take a week, it can take months, or it can even take years. So when companies order for new stock, they need to make some time available in order to receive the materials into stock. Now, if they wait for all the materials to reach the minimum stock level, by the time the goods get to the warehouse, what is below the minimum stock level have already been used, and the companies will run out of cash, run out of resources rather. So in order to avoid stock out, the company has to set a reorder level, and that reorder level, immediately the quantities of raw materials reaches that level, there is a replenishment, or there is a request for raw materials to be ordered so that we can replenish stock. Okay. Now, this is another level that companies can set, which is called maximum stock level. Now, this is the level above which stock must not be allowed to rise beyond. So stock should not go beyond this particular limit in order to even reach this particular place. Why? Now, it's because one, holding cost will increase. Holding cost will increase. Why would holding costs increase? One, there are a lot of costs associated with holding high levels of stock. So if you order for raw materials into your warehouse, the cost per unit of holding that material safely before it can be consumed will go up. Then the cost of space, the cost of space will also increase, because if you order more, you need to make more space for the raw materials to be kept. So if you order more, the cost associated with expanding the space or making space available to store that particular uh, raw material is going to increase. There is also the cost of theft. So when you have too much stock, some of it can be taken by unscrupulous employees, and the company is going to lose. So it is within this particular limit. It is within this particular limit that organizations have to manage their stock so well. So organizations have to manage their stock in between the maximum stock level and the minimum stock level. So in order to manage their stock so well, let me clean here. In order for them to manage their stock so well, they need to maintain some calculations. And these calculations are guided by the following formulas. Number one, we have the reorder level. The reorder level is looked at by calculating the maximum, by multiplying the maximum consumption, or in some books you will say usage, times the maximum lead time. What do I mean when I say the lead time? Now, the lead time is the time between when you place the order and you receive the order. The lead time is the space or the period between when you place the order and you receive the order. So we have a minimum lead time, and we have a maximum lead time. Now, the minimum lead time is the minimum number of days or months or years by which you can receive the the order, and the maximum lead time is the maximum or the upper limit of the number of days or months that you have to receive the order. Then we have the maximum order level. This particular level is calculated by the reorder level as it's calculated here. Then the reorder quantity. How many quantity? Now let me explain what is reorder quantity. Now when I say reorder quantity, sorry. So reorder quantity. Now, when the organization reaches the reorder level, it must order specific amount of quantities to be delivered to the company. So the reorder level or reorder quantity is the quantity to be ordered when stock reaches the reorder level. Okay, so when the stock reaches this particular level, then a new replenishment is made for stock to be ordered. Okay, now we have the maximum stock, the minimum order level. The minimum order level is this particular level here. So the minimum stock level is reorder level as is calculated above here, minus into bracket average usage times average lead time. Average usage times the average lead time. Okay, average usage times the average lead time. Okay, how do you calculate the average lead time and the average usage? Now, the average lead time can be calculated by looking at the maximum lead time plus the minimum lead time divided by 2. Now, uh, look at this particular thing over here. I want you to pay attention here. You realize that the safety inventory is the same as the minimum order level. Okay, so the safety inventory is the same as the formula I've written over here, is the same as this particular formula. So in some books, they will tell you what is the safety inventory, and the safety inventory is the same as the minimum order level. Now we did the average lead time, and the average lead time is calculated with this particular formula. What about the average usage? So the average usage can be calculated. The average usage is equal to the maximum usage plus the minimum usage divided by 2. And that is going to give you the average usage. If you enjoyed this particular video, please subscribe to the channel